There was also a really interesting study I came across that looks at what is called the Benjamin Franklin effect. I'm not entirely sure why it was called that. I have to look into that aspect of it more, but it had a revelation in this experiment that we come to hate people who we treat badly. So let's say you're feeling guilty about the way you're treating someone. I'll put this in a more of an interpersonal context this time. Let's say you're being kind of nasty to your partner and you have trouble reconciling your guilt around how you've been treating them. So if you make that person bad, if you start to hate them and dehumanize them, you distance your empathy with them, then you don't have to feel bad about yourself. So I know that's a little tricky. So I want to read my note again, just so I can say it again. We can let that land. We come to hate people who we treat badly. We feel guilty about how we're treating someone. And so we have trouble reconciling that guilt with our notion of being a good person. So we distance ourselves from them, we dehumanize them, and then we won't have to feel bad about ourselves. So again, another very human tendency. And no one wants to admit these things about themselves, but I can definitely think of times where when I was mad at, mad at my husband, let's say, and I would just make this case for oh, well, he's doing this and he's doing that and he's wrong and da 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 da. And then it would afford me to not look at the ways I wasn't showing up in the situation that was helpful or aligned, if that makes sense. So do you notice that tendency we have as people to focus on, let's say you find yourself in some kind of conflict with someone, it's so easy to focus on the other and how they're wrong and what they could do differently rather than to focus on ourselves and how we might be contributing to the very thing we're complaining about.
You can watch the full episode on the Brilliance Collective, available now for download in the App Store and Google Play.